Hello there, Telco Fanatics. Welcome back. So I'm going to bring you the summary for the Ringo South 2021. Just my little talk about. I already did a summary with Dan and Joe on the LOTR SBG team page. So go check that out. The three of us talked for about an hour and a half, just about everything. But I wanted to give you my one-on-one, TO final thoughts and just some response to some feedback I've gotten. So it was an 800-point event, 3 rounds. Round one was breakthrough. Round two was assassination. Round three was contest of champions. So we had played at the Hampton Inn and Suites. I think if you watched the first ever video I put up for the channel, it was a hey, this is RGS, this is what's going to be there video. So it was at Hampton Inn and Suites in Concord, North Carolina. So I already went over the 3 rounds, 800 points, and yeah, it was a fun event. I think a lot of folks had fun. It was good to see some new faces, a lot of new faces to be completely honest, as well as some good returning faces, great friends that I know. Really appreciate them coming and making the trip to the Charlotte area for this event. So let's go ahead and we'll take a dive into what happened. So 24 folks showed up. I had up to 27 guys signed up at one point, but had a few drops, and I was actually, like I said, Dan got to play. Like I said, go check out our video we did on their page. But Dan got to play this time. Joe played in February, so it was Dan's turn to step in for the ringer. And I'm glad that Joe didn't. I mean, I'm sorry, Joe, if you watch this. I'm sorry you didn't get to play, but I'm glad you didn't because we had a lot of rules questions in round one that we had to take care of. And I don't mind answering rules questions, but some of them were just kind of like, hey, did you read the FAQs? We did have a lot of new players, so I don't want this to be like oh, you shouldn't come to an event if you don't know the rules type, bitch fest. But I will say that if you're an experienced player and you're not keeping up with the FAQs, you're doing yourself a disservice as a player. So just go ahead and try to do that. It'll help you out in the future, and it'll help everybody else out. So we answered about 7 of those, I think, in the first round, maybe 8. And so we got done, and Joe's like, I'm glad I'm not playing because we were going to do a switch out. I was going to switch out 3 Carolinas guys to give them, a chance to play and, do that kind of jazz. But Joe's like, I'll just TO because you need help. You've got a lot of questions coming in. And then we follow up with round 2 and 3 being pretty easy, laid back. I think we had like 2 questions in round 2, and for the most part, I don't think either of them were anything like we had to go look up. I think one was maybe a look-up question, but the rest of them were pretty simple and straightforward. So yeah, that was how it went. I was able to get 2 games recorded. Round 1 between Evan Zaklovic and Evan Botkin. Evan Zaklovic from the Nashville group. He and I have started chatting here over the last couple of months. He is the chump in the East. So go check out his podcast on Spotify, and I think he's on Amazon or Apple, iTunes, something like that. I listen to it on Spotify. So he's the chump in the East. Go check his podcast out. He's a great guy, really cool. He took part in our trivia game that I didn't have any sound recording for the first hour and 40 minutes. And he did win that, which is kind of a sign of things to come because he came to the event and won round 1 on camera and then proceeded to go 3-0. 2 majors and a minor victory, and he scored second place. So congrats to that, Evan. But he was playing Evan Botkin from Pendleton, South Carolina, part of the Carolinas Middle Earth 3 group. And Evan brought Army of Thror. Well, Evan Zaklovic brought Azog's Hunters. Evan Botkin brought Army of Thror allied with Iron Hills, which is something I've looked at doing. And at 800 points, you can do pretty well with it. I may try it in the future at 895 at an event. Maybe not. Hopefully no Nashville guys are listening to this. Even if they are, it's not like I mind. But yeah, so those 2 guys played round 1. They played on my Mordor board. And then round 2, I recorded Dan Keller going up against David McGarvey. David McGarvey is probably the coolest guy, most laid back, most fun opponent, I think. I've played him a few times, and every time it's been really fun and just like chill. But I had them on camera for round 2. Neither of the games, unfortunately, are finished on camera. For anybody who's watched those so far, I do apologize. I forgot my long charging cord at home. And then when I got to the event, I totally forgot that I could even attach a long charging cord just using a phone charger. And I could have simply just attached literally my wife's phone charger, I think, does it. So, yeah, that happened. But I know now in the future what I need to do. So I'll have full games at future events that I host to put on the channel. Not only that, I was hoping to live stream, and I forgot my webcam. So I know you guys are listening to this going, "What the hell? And you were the TO? You forgot everything?" No, I forgot the little shit, the stuff that doesn't really matter. I remember the important stuff. I remember my computer. I remember the scorecards. I remember the boards and the tables and all the important stuff, the awards and placards and all that. It's just the little stuff that really isn't that big of a deal. Well, it is because I'm trying to do the channel, but in lieu of, or in terms of the game itself for the event, it's not important. And I'll take that. If I got to forget something, I want something that's not important to the game. So let's talk about standings and awards and everything. We'll go over the top, I guess, 3 and bottom, because the top 4. When you got 4 scores usually for placing is top 1, 2, 3. And then Wooden Spoon, which is last place. So that's your kind of placing awards. But Jacob Hall scored first place. He had 3 major victories. And he was also playing Azog's Hunters. So 2 Azog's Hunters lists in the top 2. Because like I said, Evan Zakovic took second place with his Azog's Hunters. And then Steven Kinsler from here in the Carolinas bringing it home with third place right here in Charlotte with Mordor. So that was great. He had 3 victories as well. The top 3 guys, the top 3 tables, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't place my people on tables based off of standings. I simply put you on a table after I figure out who you're going to be matched up against. So I know a lot of events are usually like the top scoring people are always on tables 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't see why. Usually the best terrain boards, especially if you're doing something like I am, where I've got good boards, but there's only so far I can take the 13 boards I have. Some of them are much better than others. And I don't believe in putting people on who are like just there for fun, like myself, because that's all I do when I go to events now. I don't go there to win. I just go to have fun and meet people and network. Get folks to come to my events. So I don't see why folks like me should be forced to play on the lesser tables, especially if I can host an event myself and make it however I want. So the top table, I usually put, honestly, the best looking table, I put, the folks that are scoring the lowest, just so they can, if you're going to have a rough day, you're going to roll a lot of 1s and 2s on your dice, at least you can have fun on a really nice looking table. So that's my thought process. So that was top 1, 2, 3. And then, hey, Dan Keller came in right there at 4. And he was 2 wins with a draw. And unfortunately, the top 3 guys, like I said, all had 3 wins. Going in, that's what I was getting to. Going into round 3, all 6 people in the top 6 were undefeated at 2-0. Everybody else had 1 win, 1 loss, or in Dan's case, and one other gentleman, 1 win in a draw. And yeah, it was crazy. So unless something really big happened on the top 1, 2, and 3 tables that were playing, then one of the winners were going to take the first, second, and third place. So even if you're playing on table 4, table 5, you should still go all out because you never know. I've seen draws before. Nova had that, and the guy playing on the second table won the event. So that can be a benefit sometimes. Is you never know. One of those guys in the top 2 or 3 tables can have a draw and drop down. This happened to me at RGS in 2019. I was playing for the 3rd place position for Ringo South, and I had a 0-0 draw and dropped to 4th place because of that. So, you never really know what the hell is going to happen. But those were our top 3, Jacob Hall, Evan Zakovic, and Steven Kinsler. Congratulations to them. Unfortunately, our next prize goes to the person who just had the worst day, and that was Lee Ward from the Nashville group as well. And Lee, I watched a good bit of his last game. I don't think I ever saw his dice roll higher than a 3 or 4. Never. And about 30 to 40 total minutes of watching time for his game because he was closest to the TO's table, so I didn't actually have to get up and move far to see it. He rolled so poorly, it honestly made me sick to my stomach when I watched him throw dice. I was just like, why? Why is this happening to this guy? But he did go 0-3, unfortunately, and had the worst score, um, and got the wooden spoon. That being said, the placards for best painted and sportsman, all that, and the wooden spoon were very nice. Robert Loader made them for us. Um, Loader. I can't remember. I think it's Louder. Robert Louder. I'm sorry, Robert. I always do this. Robert Louder made them for us, and they are very nice. He had mahogany pieces that he wood burned on them with the logo for Ringo South, and then a little like prize. So like wooden spoon was like a little wooden spoon he had on there, and then like best painted evil had like the Belrog medallion, and best painted good had the two elves. I think it was Gilgalad Elrond little medallion, you know, engraved on there from wood burning. They were really, really nice. Let's just put it that way. If they don't come up in the pictures that I'm sharing for this video, I do apologize. You will see them in the future when I do community talks and grab these pictures, because those community talks always go into, 2, 3, 5, 5 hours. So they'll show up there. But that was Wooden Spoon was the award, unfortunately. Good sport about it. Lee also had best display board. So there were 3 folks who built display boards for the event, and Lee's was by far the best. He not only that, but it was kind of hard to not vote for him to be best painted as well. And the people I got to judge were like, I don't know what to do. Can I give him both? And I was like, well, yeah, go for it. If you want to give him both, you can. But he didn't get best painted. That went to somebody else. But he did get best display board, and it was hands down the best. No contest at all in that. So best, he got Wooden Spoon and best display board. Best painted good went to Mike Parker from the Maryland area. He brought fiefdoms, and he was hoping to win best painted. I don't know if that influenced any of the judges I asked to do judging, but he was hoping so he could retire the Army, because he's been trying to win best painted with his guys and doing little upgrades to him for the past year or so. Year or so prior to COVID, and we've had some events going on, but he was trying to win, and he did. So he got best good painted for his Fiefdoms Army. So congrats to Mike Parker. Best painted evil went to John Bealey with his Azog's Legion. John Bealey is a veteran of many a North Carolina game. He's been to 3 Ringo Souths now, 2018, 19, and 2021. And then he's come to... has he been in it? No. Yeah, he's been to Past the Dead event I did in 2019 as well. So he's been to Carolinas 4 times now that I can remember for events. So thanks, John, once again, from coming all the way from Alabama to partake in our little nerdy hobby. It's always great to see John. He's another one of those just laid back players where it's like, it doesn't matter what he's playing. If I go into it and it's just like, oh, you're going to completely table me because I know what you're playing, and it's a perfect counter for mine, I don't care, because I know we're going to have fun and it's going to be chill. So he had best painted evil with Azog's Legion. And then best themed army went to Rusty Glass, who is also from the Alabama, but different area. I'm not going to give away people's hometowns. A little bit of anonymity there. But he is also from Alabama, driving all the way over. And he brought the Depth of Moria. So the theme of this event, obviously, is The Ring Goes South. And that is from the chapter in the Fellowship of the Ring. So I was looking for Fellowship of the Ring armies. And I think I went over this in my event packet review. And that was things like Moria, Lothlorien, scout armies, Ugluk scouts I was willing to take, as well as Lurtz's scouts, Isengard armies as well, because, Isengard did come up. Yeah, we didn't see a lot of warriors and stuff, but Isengard would have sufficed depending on the makeup. Numenor, Mordor, the Shire, stuff of that nature. So Rivendell. There were a few armies to choose from there. I had 2 Moria armies, including Depths of Moria. So another one, someone had the Watcher in the Water, which was another one I looked at. There was a Lothlorien army there that I considered. And then there was Ugluk Scouts. Someone did take Ugluk Scouts, hence why I mentioned them. So yeah, there's potential there there's a potential there for uh, many an army. So I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, sorry. So Rusty got best theme because he, like I said, he played Depths of Moria, which has the Balrog and the goblins, and he had the drum, so it was perfectly themed for the event. And then best sportsman went to Dan Keller. So Dan got fourth, and he was so close to getting third and having something else. But he was definitely one of the best sports there, and I'm glad to see him get voted for that as well. And I think that's everything. So let's see: wooden spoon, display board, evil, good, evil, or painted good, painted evil. I just lost my train of thought. So display board, wooden spoon, painted, two of those, sportsman, and yeah, themed. Okay, so that's our six plaques plus three trophies. You want me to go over it one more time? All right, I'll go over it one more time. So first place, Jacob Hall. Second place, Evan Zakovic. Third place, Stephen Kinsler. Wooden spoon, Lee Ward. Best painted display board, Lee Ward. Best painted good army, or best display board, not best painted display. Yeah, best display board, Lee Ward. There we go. Best painted good, Mike Parker. Best painted evil, John Bealey. Best themed, Rusty Glass. And best sportsman, Dan Keller. So there we go. Just a look at the armies. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but we had basically three Azogs lists. Two of them Hunters, one of them Legion. We had one Iron Hills, list, Army of Thror, Iron Hills combo I talked about. We had a Kingdom of Khazad-dûm. That was cool. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Gondor lists. And that consists of the Rangers of Ithilien, a couple fiefdoms, and then just Minas Tirith. So I lump all of those under Gondor. So 7 of the 24 people were playing Gondor lists. There were 2 Rohan lists. There was a Lothlorien list, like I said. 2 from Moria. What else do we have? How many Mordor lists do we have? We got a few of them. We got an Easterling list, so we have that. Let's see. 1. I know we have more than 1. 2. 3. Okay, 3. I think we had 5 Mordor lists, but the folks who dropped out, that's what they were playing. So, we had a Barad-Dur list, but that's part of Mordor. I know Barad-Dur is their own list, but I consider it, Mordor. So we had 3 Mordor lists. Pretty cool. It was interesting. I mean, 7, and like I said, Ugluk Scouts, 7 Gondor lists split between Minas Tirith, Rangers of Ithilien. There was only 1 Rangers of Ithilien, and fiefdoms. So crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. So just a quick talk about some of the feedback I got back. So I put up a poll, got some feedback. So one thing I do that I think a lot of TOs should think about doing, just because in my opinion this is a lot more efficient to make sure stuff gets out there, but I actually do a group chat. I literally build a group chat on Facebook with everybody who's partaking, as long as they have a Facebook account, which for the most part everybody who is partaking in the event does, because that's how most events get spread. I wish there was a better way. I'm not a fan of Facebook being the monopoly of sharing events. I wish there was some sort of forum or something. But I use Facebook chat, and I asked if folks like that idea, and all but one person said that they liked it. So I'm sorry to whoever didn't like it, but if you partake in one of my events in the future, you will be subjected to that again, because it's just extremely easy for me to pull up a chat and just drop, hey guys, these are the 3 scenarios we'll be playing next weekend, than it is for me to go and have to take the time to pull up Facebook, pull up the event page, and put a post up. A lot easier just to pull Messenger up on my phone. Really simple. And for the most part, a lot of shenanigans go on in there too. A lot of little shit talking and, just some general conversation between folks. And I think that's great. Maybe the one person didn't like it, just didn't like that idea of all the shit talking and shenanigans going on. So if that's the case, I recommend in the future, if you come to my event, that you mute that channel, because I will be doing it at every event I host in the future. Again, it's just really, really simple. The other great thing about it is that day of the event, I can drop the matchups in there. So not only do people have to try and squint to see the projector if they're sitting at the back, they can just whip out their phone and go, hey, look, He did a screenshot and dropped their rank matchups for round 3. Cool. Or if you're at lunch, it's like, oh, hey, I know I'm going to be coming back and going to table 6 instead of having to come back in and everybody crowd at the front. So it's just a very useful tool. And again, other than that one person, and I'm sorry to whoever it is, everybody liked it. Some other stuff that I got feedback on. Okay, guys, I will take the river out of the Fornos board. Lord forbid I try to add some difficult terrain to a board, and everybody is like, no, the Fornos board shouldn't have a river. It's not thematic. It shouldn't be there. So, yes, I will take the river out of the Fornos board. Of course, that also goes with the fact that I was like, people are like, there's not enough difficult terrain. Well, then why are folks complaining about the river? So I don't know what you guys want there. Can't really help you. I'll take the Fornos river out. So be it. I'll throw it on another board. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a river running through our Lothlorien board in the future. Because most of our water, when we play water, we have 3 crossings, usually a ford and then 2 bridges. And other than those 3 areas, we play the water deep. So it comes into play tactically, other than shallow, where it's like, half movement for infantry and horses just run through it. So we actually make it deep where everybody has to take a swim check as soon as they come into touch with it and get half movement. So I think that's important to have in a board. Looking to try and make RGS a 2-day event next year. So a little, pre-look. Everybody who replied to that said they liked it. So now let's get to some things. So one person said that they weren't a fan of the 3 scenarios I choose. They said they were two killing based and one that wasn't. One objective. Okay, guys. So open up to page 9 of the match play guide. And this is, again, a reference, so I will say that. So maybe this is why you don't like it. So the 3 scenarios I chose come from the following pools. Pool number 2. Hold objective scenarios. Breakthrough. Round 1. Pool number... Where is it at? Shit, I can't find it. Pool number 6. Unique scenarios. Assassination. Round 2. Pool number 4. Contested champions. Round 3. So for those who said that I chose 2 killing-based scenarios, I did not. If that's how you perceive it, that's fine. But the way G-Dub breaks it down is that is where those scenarios break down into. That being said, every scenario is a killing-based scenario. In order to get the game to end, you have to kill the enemy, either broken or quartered. So if you don't like killing scenarios, you might as well not play the game. I'm just going to say that. I appreciate that feedback, but I, again, would say turn to page 9 and look at that. The other reason I chose these 3 scenarios are that they are 24-inch deployment zones. So in a 2-hour day trying to keep time on track, I'm not all for using scenarios that deploy 24 inches apart and then shooting armies and kiting armies can just sit back forever in a day and make the entire game miserable for slow-moving armies or armies that don't really want to sit back and shoot or kite. I'm going to make it so that you get into combat quickly. It's going to get the killing going because, again, all scenarios are killing scenarios. And then get the game over with because then it'll make my life easier when I start getting the sheets in, the scoring sheets turned in so I can start getting that done. It's very hard as a TO when you have an event and, let's say you have 20 people and 16 of them all hand you the sheets at once. Then it's just like, holy shit, I got to try and keep 16 straight. It's much easier if they slowly matriculate in during the course of a 2-hour and 15-minute round, which was what I had. So that's why I chose those 24-inch scenarios as well. Somebody says they want 6x4 boards. Not going to happen. MESBG's played on 4x4. Again, the match play guide, and it is just a guide, says that 1,000 points you should play on 6x4s. But we were playing 800 points, which is 4x4 according to their little book. And I played 1,000 points in February for Great Battles of Carolina. Nobody had issue with the board sizes. So nope, that's not going to happen. Plus, a lot of my boards are already pre-built and pre-magnetized down for simplicity's sake of keeping terrain in place. So there's no way I'm going to go out of my way to try and upgrade 4 or 5 boards just to make them 6x4s. So no, it's 4x4. You come to my event, that's the size the terrain will be. I can't do anything about stinky, smelly guys. PSA guys, you stink. What do you expect me to say? Um, if you feel like it, let your neighbor know when they smell. I find that it's actually probably, what do you call it? It's more polite to say something than it is to not say something and let everybody else think it. It's like if you got something on your face or stuck in your teeth, are you going to be one of those assholes that just like turns a blind eye to it, or are you going to be the guy that steps up and say, "Hey, buddy, you got something on your face. You might want to get rid of it." That's what I always do. I'd rather be that asshole that calls you out on it than be one of those Joe Blows that just completely ignores it and lets you keep looking dumb. Same thing with stink. Hey, guy, it's kind of smelly. You're perspirating a little hard. You might want to go run up to your room after this round and put on a little extra deodorant or change your shirt. Doesn't hurt. Just helps people know. Timeline wise, I kept the timeline pretty well, but everybody's got their own prerogative to that. Someone said that the hotel shower had no middle temperature. I can't affect that, guys. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. That is the hotel. Take it up with the staff there. Someone wants that the painting should be voted by the players. I don't do that anymore. I don't. I used to do that at events, and I found that best painted and even for best sportsman as well, that it's particularly for best sportsman, you get a lot of 2 ties when it comes to sportsmen, because usually that's asked for after round 2 or even round 3, and the majority of the time you have a whole lot of 1 or 2 and it's just like, well, I've got ties anyway. Now I've got to decide as the TO. Same thing for the painting. So I have specific people that I already pre-designate before the event starts, and I have them do the judging. So for the display boards and for the best painted, good, and evil armies, I had 7 people that I chose. If there was still, for some reason a tie, be it like a 2-2-2 tie or a 2-2 and then 3 1s, somebody got 3 1, then I would break any of those stalemates. Or a 3-3-1 for voting, then I would break the stalemate. But yes, I do have people vote. I just simply don't ask 26 players to all give it to me, because there's enough data coming in throughout the course of the day with 26 players, each one playing 3 games. I'll let you guys do the math on that. I'm too tired right now. I lied to 78 different score sheets I have to keep track of. That's enough. I don't need to add another 26 or more, 25 or more items I need to keep track of. So I designate 7 people. 7 people is what I chose for this one. 7 people is what I chose for Great Battles. And a lot of times it's folks who have either done professional painting, like at both events I had a guy who used to be a Golden Demon judge. I think that would be someone who should definitely have a vote. And the one time that he did it, he wasn't even playing. So no conflict of interest there at all. But that's just how I do it. Again, every TO's got their way of doing things, so be it. Other than that, nothing really that like jumps out at me. Someone didn't like the space. They said it wasn't large enough. It's actually, I got the most compliments for the space and the setup. Everybody who played in Great Battles in February said that they liked the setup I had for this one much better. Instead of keeping lines, I actually did a giant square, and it just seemed to be a lot more open. And like I said, for the most part, everybody seemed to like that. So this one person just thinks it's better. I will say this, for folks who want more space, and this also kind of goes hand in hand with somebody who said that they would like to see better prize support. Everything that comes into an event comes out of a TO's pocket, okay? So I'm not going to get into logistics speaking completely, but out of pocket for this event, I paid over $1,000, okay? Tickets were $30 a piece. That room was $600 for the weekend. I had to rent it for the weekend. This event was originally supposed to be 2 days. It got dropped to 1, but the price remained the same because they can't rent an event hall out for 1 day. So you get charged for the entire weekend. So I had to pay $600 for the weekend, even though we went from a 2-day to a 1 day. That came out of my pocket initially. All this money that people are like, oh, he makes a killing off of event. No. I had 23 paid people play the game. Okay, do the math. $30 a piece. You guys are smart individuals. You can see where that comes from, okay? Prizes, raffles, new boards, equipment so that you can actually see and hear. I've bought speakers, I've bought projectors. That stuff all comes out of TO's pockets, not just mine. Any TO, it all comes out of a TO's pocket, okay? Some TOs get help with the game where they've got a community that's willing to pick up the tab. Not so much here in the Carolinas. I'm in the best position to pick up that tab, so that's what I do. It makes the game better. Somebody has to do it. I don't mind. I had more fun TOing on Saturday than I would have if I played. That's just kind of where I'm at. I enjoy being able to sit and chat with guys before, during, and after the event than I do actually playing the game, because I actually network more. I got to meet 24 individuals this Saturday, and if I had played, I would have met 3, and then the handful of guys that I knew prior to the event from other events. So that's just kind of how I look at it. So folks, if you want, what was it? If you want more space, next time you think, oh, this place is kind of cramped. Oh, these raffle prizes aren't the best. Oh, these trophies aren't the coolest or whatever. Remember, some TO paid for that. And this is 2021. We all know what the hell happened last year. Everybody was affected, myself included. So put yourself in their shoes for a minute. Just be thankful that somebody has the time and the money and the ability to put on an event for you. Because at the end of the day, that's who it's really all about. It's about the community and it's about you. So, yeah, like I said, I get something out of it because I enjoy watching folks have fun. But it is for y'all. All right? So that's my soapbox there for that. Otherwise, I had a lot of great response. I just want to say thank you to everybody who gave feedback. I mean, and even somebody said, my complaints, quote unquote, are simply my preference. And I appreciate that. That's true. Everybody's got their preference. I think I've made that quite clear when it comes to things like the scoring rubric and the match play guide. That's what the match play guide may say. But again, it's a guidebook. And even G-Dub says it themselves in their release when they did it. This is just a guide. This is not the Holy Grail. You can do whatever you want. So there are plenty of things that I prefer and to be done certain ways. But at the end of the day, if you go to an event, you have to take into effect that the TO that's putting it on, that's the way they're going to do it. And if you don't like it, well, give them feedback. The worst that can happen is they don't take your feedback into consideration. I try to take feedback into consideration. Like I said, Fornos board, the river will be gone, okay? I'm sorry. The Bree board, somebody said it was too open in the middle. I got a giant ass water fountain in the middle. How can it be any more? How can it not be they said line of sight blockers. It's like you got a giant fountain in the middle, and then the boards take up a lot of the buildings take up a lot of space. Not sure where that comes from, but hey, somebody thought there was too much line of sight. So fair enough. To each their own. Again, preferences. But that is all I have to say. I will end by saying thank you to everybody who came. I look forward to seeing you next year at Ringo South. I hope you can make it. I'm looking to try and make Ringo South a 2-day event next year, if not a 3. Let's see. I'm going to look at my calendar right now. So I get, at my current job, God willing, I don't get laid off again like I did from my old job in October. At my current job, I get 1 day off from my birthday a year, and I get the 3-week period to use it in. And my birthday's in June, by the way. That's why it's cool. So I'm thinking maybe the 18th and 19th of June next year, because I could take that Friday off, because that Friday falls in that 3-week period that I'm allowed to use my birthday day off. So I'm thinking the 18th and 19th next year, guys, of June. So put that in your calendars. 18, 19 June. Don't know how many points it'll be. Don't know what type of event. Probably just be a GT. I know I talked a lot of shit about, we'll do de-escalation, we'll do escalation, we'll do random lists. But at the end of the day, it's hard enough just trying to get 26 people to submit a list on time. I don't need to try and get 26 people or more. Hopefully more. I want to see more next year. Submitting multiple lists. But that is all I have to say. Again, thank you for everyone who showed up. I really appreciate it. It really shows how much you guys support the community, despite what I said in my soapbox about how much it costs. Just showing up is half the battle. So that right there makes a TO's day when he has people sign up for his event or her event. Oh, wow. Knock something over. But until next time, guys, take care. Enjoy Tolkien's Legendary and its extremities. And I look forward to bringing you more content in the future.